Beauty. I'm going to start by applying a coffee eye pencil across the waterline. This one's by MAC. You can also use the shade Costa Riche. You want to use a taupe, and as you can see, the colour payoff of this is insane. You can of course use a brush to apply this, but you will not get the same payoff. Your finger is the best tool for applying any form of a metallic or chrome eyeshadow. And today we're going to swipe that over the mobile lid. So we're taking it up to where the eye naturally creases, which is called the socket, and then we're using a small socket brush to start blending that out. You'll find that once you start to blend your brush backwards and forwards, that eyeshadow will create more of a colour, and that colour is going to create that transitional shade. So we don't need to use the two different eyeshadows. Instead, that taupe is going to become more prevalent in the socket, and you'll create a transitional shade that looks ever so slightly different to the metallic shade that we've got on the lid, but they are so complementary because it is from the same eyeshadow. It's just about working that brush backwards and forwards until you achieve it. This step is optional. I have used my brush to pull the colour out in a slight V shape, but you can keep the eyeshadow more rounded as we initially applied it, so that's completely up to you. I'm then taking my 204 brush by BK Beauty and running that underneath our lower eyelashes to frame the eye. You can see that when you apply it with a brush, it's a little bit less intense. Your finger is definitely going to apply this much more intensely, but you can layer this with a brush to build up the intensity. There are 12 shades available from this collection and they are all absolutely stunning. I would definitely recommend checking out my previous upload. I will link it in the top corner for you now, and you can see 6 of the 12 shades that I have, and I would love to be able to swatch all of them. However, they do retail at $24 per eyeshadow, which I think is quite expensive, but you do get quite a lot. You get 4 grams per eyeshadow and you cannot complain about the quality. They are fantastic. Even the packaging is really beautiful. It's very simple, but it works so nicely. It has a really lovely gold trim and it feels kind of luxe. So that $24, you can see the whole experience of that one eyeshadow feels worth it. But out of the 6 that I swatched, this was definitely my favourite shade. I love this slightly cooler tone. This was my second favourite shade. This is called Glaze. It's a lovely neutral champagne shade. And on a small detailer brush, we're going to pop this on the inner corner of the eyes just to brighten and add a very subtle highlight. Again, if you apply this with your fingers, it will give more of that chrome finish. Another optional step is to apply some eyeliner to the outer corner. I like to create a wing. This wasn't actually my intention. I was going to put this on quite roughly and then blend it out. But then I decided, you know what, I haven't done a standard winged liner on an eyeshadow look for ages, so I've just kept it very simple. Had this been my original intention, I would have taken more time with it. I think it still looks absolutely fine. It's a dark brown by Wet n Wild. Also, if you want to see how to perfect a winged liner, I will link my tutorial in the top corner. I have so many different ones. There I will show you how to create a really nice crisp liner where I've not rushed it. And now I'm applying some mascara. This is one of my favourites. I've been using it a lot recently. I keep repurchasing it because, as you know, I've loved it for a long time. It's the Lancome L'Occitane mascara. So if you've not tried this mascara before, I can highly recommend it. It comes off with water. It's not like a standard tubing mascara. It stays in place all day, it doesn't flake. But where a tubing mascara comes off cleanly with water, this just breaks down and becomes quite soft, but it comes away nicely. It doesn't give you panda eyes. So it's not a typical tubing mascara, but it does still come away with water. The key is to use warm water. What I like to do is dip my fingers in warm water and then I grasp on my lashes on both the back and the front. So I use my forefinger and thumb and I just use that to softly squeeze my lashes so that they break down. That mascara becomes soft and then it comes away with the water. I am going to put a couple of false individual lashes on the outer corners, but this is how it looks just with mascara, and you could really layer this for a nice dramatic mascara look. As I said, I'll be taking some individual cluster lashes. These are by Peaches Makeup. Any brand of cluster lashes will do. I will link some in the description bar below for you, along with all the products that I've used today. Now the placement for these is on the outer third of the top lash line. I am going to place them a little bit higher than my natural lashes, so they're going to sit at the root, but I'm going to lift them up slightly, so you'll see there's a tiny gap between the false lash and my natural lash. There's no gap between the root of the lash, if that makes sense. So the bulb of the cluster lash is going to sit on the root of my natural lash, but I'm going to leave it sitting up a little bit, and this is going to give some layering to our lashes, but it's also going to give a slightly lifted finish. I'm only using 3 cluster lashes on each eye, And as you can see that when I look straight into the mirror, they look nice. They don't look as if I've come too far towards the centre of the eye and that there's a step between the length of the false lash and my natural lash. By just keeping them on that outer third, when I do look up, they're not longer or sitting higher than the lashes on the centre of my lid. And another tip for you,